This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining Gym. SuperTraining Gym, the strongest gym in the West. As you guys know, we've been doing it for a long time here at SuperTraining Gym. We've been putting up points on the scoreboard for a super duper, duper duper, pooper scooper long time. Today, we have a compilation of some videos that are from back in the Dizzy. I got this hat, this really cool SuperTraining hat that I'm wearing right now. That's from back in the day, an old one. You guys remember SuperTraining.tv and SuperTraining.com that we had way back when, before everything was commercialized. I was still trying to promote and still trying to make the world a better place to lift, but at that point, I was just trying to figure things out. So it was before the slingshot, but when you watch this video, you're going to see some clips of me trying on some old pieces. You're going to see some clips of me trying to wrap my elbow, trying to mummify myself, and trying to do a lot of things to make myself feel better during these awful workouts. You're also going to see some heavy-ass weights being thrown around. I know that's what you guys love, and so that is why we do these Flashback Fridays. Let's roll the videotape, and let's check her out. The first thing you're going to see is my boy, Big Roy, trying to get into his vehicle. He borrowed his wife's car because his truck, his giant-ass monster truck, was in the shop. And so here is the results of that. Look at this guy. He thinks he's getting away with trying to fit into this tiny car, and it's just not working out. He is squeezing in there. He could use some butter for those hips, maybe some oil to get him through that door. Big Roy was a big, large man, standing at about 6'4", and I believe for one of the contests, he weighed in right around 490 pounds. We didn't really know what he weighed because we didn't know how to weigh him. But you can see he doesn't really fit into that thing very well. His shirt says House of Pain, and how appropriate is that? He's in a House of Pain right there in that little tiny car. Roy successfully benched 900 pounds, and it wasn't too long after his 900-pound bench that I had to bring him back down to earth and say, hey, buddy, you know what? That was spectacular. That was fantastic. But that was not a double body weight bench press. So you still have some more work to do. Anyway, here we go. This is some of the first footage of the new SuperTraining Gym, which is now the old SuperTraining Gym. Here I am lifting with my man, Big Roy. Big Roy and I had a great rapport lifting together. One of the better lifting partners I ever had. He was a lot of fun to be around, and he just worked his ass off, trained really hard. Actually had a tremendous work capacity. You know, for a guy that big, you would think, oh man, it must be hard for him to keep up. But that wasn't the case with Big Roy. He was, if it came to some bench pressing, he was down for it. You could see we're using 315 pounds. Got some monster mini bands on there that adds like 150 pounds of extra tension. And you can also see that we had the fat bar. Ooh, that's Scott Cartwright's buttocks right there, looking kind of gross, flat and fat. Looking kind of nasty there. But this is some of the raw stuff that you guys fell in love with from back in the day. The bands, the chains, the box squats, the West Side barbell, the quote-unquote hardcore atmosphere that a lot of you guys came to know and love. That hardcore atmosphere has not changed. It still burns inside me every single day that I come in here and train at SuperTraining Gym. The Mark Bell that does business and invents Slingshot and creates products and does seminars is a different person than the one that comes in here and lifts every single day. They have to be different. I have to have different mindsets for it, but I've never viewed this as a hardcore sport. I've always viewed this as just being a lot of fun and an area that I can use to expand my mind, body, spirit, the whole 9 yards. And I think I would like for other people to be able to embrace that as well. So as I hit this 780-pound squat with 360 pounds of chains, it looks like there's some madness going on, but really this is my form and my expression of self-improvement. Here we're flashing back, super duper flashback to 2007. And not only are we flashing back even further, but we're also flashing back to the first SuperTraining gym that I had on my own. both the other versions of SuperTraining Gym were inside somebody else's facility. This spot was my first spot that was by itself. Here I am with about 975 pounds. Really struggling with that bitch. And hey, why don't we just round this over? Why don't we bring the knees in, and why don't we just make the lift 10 times more hard wrist? You can see a lot of the old crew there. Mike Moore, Big Bird, Jim Sheffield. You already saw Scott Haas Cartwright in there. A lot of this stuff is, this is a pre-Silent Mike. This is pre-Stan the Rhino efforting. This is back in the day, just way, way back. Here I am lifting with some weight releasers. I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with those, but that actually reminds me I need to get some weight releasers. Those things are great. So we have more weight in the eccentric portion, the lowering portion of the lift. And as I go down, the weight comes off. Your body still thinks that that weight is on there. It ends up being stored energy in your body. And you end up getting a somewhat of a plyometric effect, and you're able to produce more force on the concentric, the upward motion of the lift. Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from SuperTraining Gym. Later.